tell you why we picked orange and blue. All right, it's not Auburn. Well, it wasn't intended to be Auburn colors. We were driving from Anniston. We were at one of Pam's East Alabama Democratic Women's Club meetings. It was right before the municipal elections last year, and we drove from Anniston all the way to Opelika, through Hollis Corners, through Wedowie, through Roanoke, through Lafette, and there were all these signs out there, and they were all exactly the same. They were red, they were blue, or they were the very daring red and blue, okay? And it just got to be, they all looked exactly the same, and you couldn't tell who was what. So Barb and I, we had pretty much decided we were going to run at this point. I said, well, I don't see any orange. We should go with orange. So we reached out to my friend, Michelle French, who many of you know. She did all our branding. So Michelle, we want to go with orange. She says, you got two choices on contrast color, green or blue. I said, well, green's going to look a little bit too much like an Irish flag. I'm very proud of my, Irish heritage, but that's not something I want to, think people out of first. So let's go with blue. And so she sent me 5 different samples of orange and 5 different samples of blue. And so I picked, orange 3, blue 4, and she said, okay, and then she said, here's some different fonts we can use. And I said, I like font number 2. And she wrote back and she said basically this. And I said, that looks fantastic. And she goes, just so you know, you picked Auburn orange or Auburn blue, and I took the font off the water tower in Auburn. And I went, fine, it works, but literally, I get asked the question I have been asked more than the last year and 14 months is, why did you pick Auburn colors? So it's not Auburn colors intentionally.